Alright, so looks like we're about to get underway with the first race for World Championships. Right now we are doing the sumo for the map selection. With the way this tournament is laid out, there are 7 different maps in the map pool, and each team gets to ban a map, and the way that they decide who gets to ban first is through a sumo. So that's what they're trying to do, I'm guessing. So right now we are having Dixin Cider facing off against Eternal Cross. Looks like Nova likes... No. Looks like we're gonna have any sumoing for Eternal Cross and LG Macius sumoing for Dixin Cider. So we'll see how this ends up going. Any day now. I should probably actually check to make sure I'm live. Oh, sumo time, and alright, yeah, looks like I'm definitely live. Alright, a little technical difficulties, but anyway, looks like we have it figured out now. Potentially. Maybe, I don't know what's going on. Alright, I guess while they're figuring this out, I can give a fairly decent introduction right now. Welcome, this is the start of the group stages for the first annual Race for World Championships. The first match is going to be going on sometime soon. It is going to be Dixin Cider versus Eternal Cross. Oh. Okay. Erosion, sure, why not? Looks like they're having some problems with the sumo on the in the lobby, so they're just gonna do it in here. Alrighty. So the first Race for World Invitational is going to be a group stage format. There are 12 teams participating in the group stage, and looks like we're about to get sumo underway. Yeah, here we go. Looks like Dixin Cider won that, I guess. Alrighty, I guess we're going with that. So, what that decided was the order teams that the order that the teams are going to be banning their maps, or yeah, I guess that's the best way to put it. Banning their maps. There's 7 different maps that they could play, and each team gets to alternate banning one of the maps. And then with the 3 remaining maps, a random map's going to be decided, and that's what the match is going to be played on. So, with Dixin Cider winning that, with that sumo, they're going to decide to ban second. Eternal Cross decides to ban Elemental first. And now we get to see Dixin Cider's bans. So group stages happening. This is the first round of group stages. All four first group stage matches are going to be happening. Today. One at 3 p.m. EST, one at 6, one at. I should look at these before I start talking out of my ass. I don't have. Alright, so first match was supposed to be at noon between Grand Waffles and Chaos. It was a little bit of a mix-up, and Chaos didn't end up showing up, so Grand Waffles got the automatic victory. This is the second match, Dixin Cider versus Eternal Cross. Next match is going to be at 6 p.m. EST, USNZ versus Nice, and then at 8 p.m. EST is going to be the 404 Reunion Tour versus Crafts Gang. Alrighty. So, how have the vetoes been going while I've been introducing that? We saw Dixin Cider vetoing Norway. And now Eternal Cross just vetoed Inferno. So right now we're down to Twisted Ruins, Procession, Buzzard, and Candyland are the remaining maps. We'll see which one Dixin Cider ends up vetoing, and then we will randomize the map that's remaining. Alright, so it looks like they vetoed Buzzard. So we're going to be randomly deciding between Procession, Candyland, and Twisted Ruins. And the map that ends up getting picked is... any day now. Procession, I think, I don't... Twisted Ruins, alrighty. Not what I was expecting. Alright, so Twisted Ruins is a map that's going to be played. I guess I can get... please... get that overlay in there. Now the teams are going to be sumoing again for lane choice, which isn't too big of a deal with the Twisted map, since the lanes are fairly the same, at least from a first-person point of view. Maybe it's just a preference for which side you want, whatever. It looks like all of the players are here. Oh. They have all 6 of their team on right now. Alright. So we're going to be seeing which 4 of their players they end up playing for this match. And eventually we'll be getting the match underway. So Twisted Ruins is the first map in the group stages. Made by myself, and it's the only abnormal map in the map pool in terms of lane layout. All the other maps have just standard straight lanes. Just Ruins the only one with lanes that are mirrored 360, and gonna be pretty interesting to see a group stage map on it. Obviously when I made this, I wasn't intending for it to be a group stage map, so it was made somewhat difficult. We'll see how Eternal Cross, being a newer team to the race full scene, is going to handle this map. And then Dixin Cider, who have obviously played before and have a little bit of experience, might fare a little bit better on it, but we will see when the match gets underway. So it looks like Eternal Cross just getting their roster set out. Where's... oh, nope, that's from Dixin Cider. Alright, so what we do know for certain, Dixin Cider is Filefish, Sheriff Soko, LG Matias, and... their last player just disconnected. It was Where's My Trophy. I don't know if he's dealing with getting a different... yep, Where's My Trophy. Who is K-Snop. K-Snop. Yeah. So that's going to be Dixin Cider's roster. And looks like Eternal Cross's roster is going to be Dosen, Cubby, Juano, and I'm guessing Nova likes PvP being the one rattling off the names. So it looks like we have our rosters set now. So I guess while all that's getting settled, I can give a quick little tour about Twisted Ruins. Obviously a Twisted map. Only 2 real Twisted maps we've seen played competitively. Twisted Desert obviously being the main one, and Twisted Ruins only being featured in the Penumbra tournament. For the time being, looks like they're about to sumo. So we can head over to that. Alright, whenever that gets underway, we can do that. So the 3 wolves in the map. Our first wool is underneath this fountain. It's a PvE wool that's a little bit open to PvP pressure in some areas. The majority of the pressure is going to be PvE pressure, though, with a lot of mobs scattered throughout. And last final room that's just filled with spawners and is also open to PvP. In line with the third wool, so we can see some PvP pressure from the team running the wool in this wool. So that'll be interesting. Alright, have they decided on sumo wars yet? I don't know. Second wool, pure PvP wool. Entrance is right here. You have to go down both sides of this sort of thing, and there is a lever at the bottom that you flip. Once they're flipped, then you are able to press this button and dispense the wool. And then third wool is a mixture. This lava volcano sort of section, you drop down at the very end, and then you go up through the alright, so they have sumo warriors ready. So we'll be seeing the sumo sometime soon. Alrighty. Sumo's in position. Looks like we're about to get the countdown. And Dixin Cider wins that sumo, so they get to pick lane choice.
Hey, you're up!
Alrighty, I'm just gonna go back into my own. I don't have an upper. Alright, everyone's gone. I can unmute and deafen, I guess. Alrighty, so Dixin Cider looks like they're gonna be on Cyan, with Eternal Cross taking purple. I think there were some lane biases that were pointed out to me that can be fixed relatively quickly. I'm just gonna fix them for you. Alright, lane bias is fixed, yay. Alright, so now that that is situated, the meta that we've seen around this map tends to revolve around getting resources in this massive mob-filled area. The entrance is right here, and it's sort of a mineshaft thing with these small sections with caves leading into them. Really dark, so we're going to be seeing a lot of mobs in it. Really filled with resources, and the main benefit you get for completing these and running these is you get a really nice PvP angle from inside the wall. You can PvP anyone from every single wall in the map, and we generally have seen teams stick a player down here for pretty much the entire game. Granted, when this was played in Penumbra tournament, this TNT chest had 2 water source blocks, meaning you were set on cannons for the entire time you were in here. One of the changes that I made for this tournament involved making this only 1 ice block, and actually making it an ice block, but that's besides the point. So you don't have infinite water for the entire time you are playing this match. If you just stay down there without doing anything else, you're going to have to do either some teamwork to pass around some water for infinite cannons, or you're going to have to just go out and get some water. So either way, we'll see how teams take this on. Not sure if Eternal Cross is aware of a lot of the stuff on the map. Did I have this? No, I did not have that right. Alrighty, there we go. So we have that ready. Alright, so just waiting for the teams to ready up. Looks like Dixin Cider is ready. And Eternal Cross is still trying to figure out this map. So we shall see how this ends up turning out. Something that is to note for the start of this match, there are 2 ender pearls at the very start. There's one right here, and then there's one right here. With the rule set being updated, there's no rule against teleporting to different places in the map. So as long as you have your ender pearl, you can teleport to your own lane. Sequence breaking in a way. Generally, the strategy has been to pearl either to the second resource cave over here from spawn, or just across this gap to get an edge without having to bridge. This is gonna be a very interesting match. Alright, match starting in 15 seconds. So we shall see how this ends up going. 3, 2, 1, and here we go. So looks like Dixin Cider sent someone down through underneath the trough to get the supplies underneath spawn. There's a tiny bit of armor, some bows and arrows, some jukeboxes. LG Machias with the pearl, and not quite sure where he ended up pearling there, but he did miss it. He ended up falling in the void line. There's still 1 pearl left, so if they so decide to pearl again, they get a second chance. Eternal Cross able to make it across the bridge without being detected. We have Joanno able to make it across, and we'll see what he's able to do. No bridge yet for Dixin Cider, a small bridge with the chests and furnaces, but Chef Soko making his way across, and able to finish the bridge with the rest of Dixin Cider following him. So that's both teams able to make it across and do what they will. Joanno's still the only member for Eternal Cross that's made it to the other side. Gah, Sprock. Jesus. What a tournament organizer. So looks looks like Dixin Cider's gotten themselves pretty spread out right now. We have one member who is entering the secondary resource area. Looks like it's LG Matias, and that's where he tried to pearl the first time but missed. Only a skeleton that he has to deal with in here, so it shouldn't be too much of an issue.
Eternal Cross has also just entered the primary resources with 2 members, fighting their way through like a horde of mobs.
Alright, Cubby is somewhat geared up. He has some leather, some torches, a bow and arrow. Not lighting anything up, which is gonna be a little bit of trouble if they're not able to do it. Even though they are defeating the mobs, they're gonna have to deal with more mobs spawning. So we'll see if they end up lighting the cave up in the future. We have someone from Eternal Cross under the Victory Monument. Alrighty. Might be digging his way into the secondary resources, might be just trying to figure the map out. Cubby gets taken out by his own team with his killer entering the void lane, so that progress is no more. Dixin Cider in the diamond room, but no iron pickaxe for them to be able to mine the diamonds. They do have access to the supplies in here, the ender pearl, the better swords. Do I have...
File has started making progress on second as well.
Ooh, so a quick second rush coming from Dixin Cider. We'll see if Eternal Cross is able to notice that and try and stop them. I lowered the bitrate a little. We'll see if that's able to do something. Dixin ends up getting taken out by LG Matias. Not entirely sure where that was. But we have Joanna from Eternal Cross able to make it into the second resource area. Has some mobs that he has to deal with, but he is at the potion supplies chest. So we'll see if he tries to make use of that. Just going for it, trying to light it up. And able to take out 2 of the creepers, with the third one almost kamikazing himself. LG Matias has cleared out the secondary resources. Looks like he has gotten both the iron blocks and might be made an iron pick so that he can get the diamonds that are spread sporadically throughout the cave. I think it's enough for a chest plate and a sword, but I'm not entirely sure about that one.
Eternal Cross did notice File running second, but it might have been too late for this win.
Not really. There's still the main lockdown section for this area of the wall, the ladders upward. So they still have the possibility of locking him down for a little bit. Not too sure how they'll fare, however. And actually, interesting enough, something that I haven't seen too much on the map, Filefish has one of the item attribute helmets, the leather cap with minus 40% speed and plus 2 attack damage. If he wanted to, I guess, once his gold sword runs out, he could put that on so that he can guaranteed one-shot the silverfish, but we'll see. Sheriff's Code blown up by Creeper, I'm assuming inside the main resources. Meanwhile, K-Schnupp, I think this is. Yeah, K-Schnupp, able to get 4 of the iron blocks, choosing to ignore 2 of them. Interesting play on his part, not getting any of the supplies from inside the chest. Not sure if he's waiting for Sheriff or anything, or just... No, looks like he just got enough iron for a set of armor, the pick, and then the diamond blocks. Noble Lakes PvP tried to pearl somewhere, ends up missing and entering the void lane as well. So a handful of failed pearls on both teams' part. Justin is making an attempt on first wool, maybe? Nope, looks like he is not. with only 2 arrows to his name. So, Foulfish making his trek on the final part of this section of the wool, having a little trouble with the silverfish and ends up getting taken out by it. So, a decent amount of progress, but he's gonna have to make that progress again to get his stuff back. And he didn't really make any progress on stopping these mobs from coming down from here. So he still has that to deal with once he once he gets back. LG Matias still inside the second resource area. Looks like he's been busy collecting some diamonds. Looks like he's only gotten 6 of them, but it is enough for some boots and a diamond sword, and smelting some iron. Alright.
Cube seems to be trying to find the spawners in first resources and hasn't realized that which blocks are marking them yet.
Alright, he's able to find that one spawner. For anyone who doesn't know, every single spawner inside these resources is covered by a mossy stone brick. But able to figure that spawner out and is moving right along, lighting things up this time.
Oh, he's figured it out, I guess.
There we go. So we should be seeing some decent progress now that he has figured that out. Meanwhile, we have Sheriff Soko still in resources. Never mind. Sheriff Soko is in resources trying to either keep getting resources. Looks like there was already a path dug down, but it looks like that's where he got taken out the first time. Meanwhile, Turn Across has Joanno running the opposite section of Second Wall that Dixin Cider is. He also has Nova Lake's PvP covering him from the top, so we're going to be seeing some good PvP pressure. And we'll see if they're able to get this wool. We'll see if they'll be able to figure out the lever concept. But no real contention from Dixin Cider. Especially with Sheriff Soko getting taken out a couple times in resources. He's making his way back. Doesn't have too many supplies. He has a sword, a bow and arrow, torches. So if he gets the chance, he'll be able to shoot at Joanno. Meanwhile, the rest of Dixin Cider notices Kachnup and LG Matias both decked out in some nice armor. LG Matias with the diamond from first resources, and LG Matias with the iron from second resources. So pretty good armor supply for Dixin Cider. There's still a little bit of armor left on the map, the enchanting, the cannon supplies, but looks like they're not really gonna opt for any of that and just go for some more running and PvP pressure. Sheriff Soko able to take out Joanno. Nova Lake's PvP coming in to try and take over for him. And Sheriff Soko ends up getting taken out by a skeleton. So we can see the creeper blast that took him out the first time and all the supplies that are there. And he gets taken out.
The Spanish laughing in chat.
Meanwhile, Nova Lake's PvP wants to make some progress. We'll see if the pickaxe was left over. And yep, that did not fall out of line. So Nova Lake's PvP is going to be able to make some progress on this wool if he so desires. Meanwhile,
Where's my trophy was trying to make progress in first. It seems to be cryboxing after an encounter with a cave spider.
Cave spider already? What?
Or a witch. I don't know, he's on half a heart and is ticking down.
No, most likely, yeah. Most likely a witch. The cave spiders don't come in this wool until right around here. The first spawner is underneath these TNT supplies. And then the second spawner is right here, I think? Yeah. Here's the second spawner, and then the third spawner, I think is underneath these pillars. Yeah, and there's the third cave spider. So, at the entrance, an unlucky witch, obviously slowing his progress down a little bit. We'll see if he's able to regen and recover pretty well. Making use of just blocking off the area, not intending the chicken jockey. Nova Lake's PvP, ender pearling What? No legs PvP looks to have purled from this end of second wool to the other end of second wool. Not sure how that is in a rule point standpoint, from a rule set standpoint. But doesn't really matter anyway, as Chef Sovko is able to take him out. So, Filefish is back in second wool. Looks like he was able to make the first lever, make it to the first level with that lever without much trouble, and is now running the second part. No, not too much PvP pressure coming from Eternal Cross. Cubby is right here though, having a little bit of trouble with mobs. Did he actually use the acacia wood that I put in as a joke? What?
Wait, where?
On top of the trees in the corner I put 2 pieces of acacia wood. I don't know where you got that from. Alright, whatever. In the trees I put a piece of red sand and acacia wood just as like a screw you sort of thing. I don't know where the... Am I just forgetting my own map? Alright, whatever. But Cubby having some issues with mobs over here, silverfish and skeletons. Looks like he is able to block them. Did you see where? Oh, he got it from the villain. Never mind. Okay, I'm done. Having a little bit of mob troubles. Meanwhile, Filefish is free to pretty much just run this wall uncontested, unnoticed, with his 3 doors. Not nearly as much as we've seen in the past, but meanwhile, LG Matias is making his trek on third wool. He has a water bucket to deal with the lava, but at the same time, once he obsidianizes the lava, he's going to have to deal with these spawners throughout the map. Looks like he is watering the lava a certain way so that he's able to take out the spawners without the spawners being activated. So really good planning on LG Matias' part, and gonna be able to clear out this third level. We are 15 minutes in the match. No one really has any wool touches, but Dixin Cider has significant progress on all the wools. Filefish just about done with second wool, and LG Matias making really good progress on third wool, just at this first corner with the pigmen, which, at least in my experience, has seemed to be the more difficult part of this wool. And in first wool, we have Dixin Cider clearing out this first execution room, not noticing the cave spider underneath him. Yeah, there we go. So really good progress. Dixin Cider not really opting to go for any TNT or resource denial or wool denial strategies, but it seems to be working out pretty well against Eternal Cross, who's still trying to figure out the map. We have Josin over here smelting some iron, so they're going to be able to get a little bit of armor somewhat soon. Haven't looked in this just yet, with some pretty good supplies in them. And then Eternal Cross with a little bit of progress in second wool. They've cleared out a decent amount of it, but have been taken out by Sheriff Soko, who seems to be have made himself at home here. So
this is a corner cannon to try to hit the levers.
Yep. I think he fired it once or twice. Oh no, he fired it. Able to take out one of the levers.
The levers are gone. Yeah, one of them is for sure.
We'll see how Eternal Cross reacts to that whenever they see it. Here it goes again. And just missing that second lever. So gonna be a little annoying from Eternal Cross's point of view. Second try to try and take out that lever. Missing again, and instead clearing out some of the wool for Eternal Cross. But meanwhile, Filefish able to finish. We saw him earlier able to get to that lever and has made it all the way back up, and has the first wool touch of the game. At the same time, he's going to get the leather tunic with plus 20% speed and plus 20% health. Not the best item in the game, but considering how he's only been using the scraps from the remainder of the map, it's fairly good for him. The speed definitely helps, and the extra health counteracting the fact that it's not nearly as much armor. Meanwhile, Filefish. Did I miss Filefish? Or not Filefish, Eldimantius. Eldimantius was taken out by a zombie pigman. It looks like it was only right here, so all the stuff is still there, albeit guarded by a zombie pigman. Tunnel across with a little bit of trouble with the map layout. Alright, so meanwhile, first wolf for Dixin Cider. Occasion up having a little bit of trouble with the cave spiders. He's cryboxing to try and regen his health. Yeah, he's at 3 hearts. Meanwhile, the rest of the mobs are going to be spawning fairly around him. I think this is the only spawner that it's going to be activated. This might be a little too far for him, so we will see when the time comes. But looks like he's regen enough for him to just make a trek on, run through with some torches, and is just about finished with the first wall. Alrighty, Sheriff Soko still in here inside of resources. Looks like he was able to get that second lever. So he's gonna have a decent amount of TNT for the rest of the match. 28 TNT. If I can do math correctly, 6 more shots if he needs to. He has the enchanting, so he's gonna be able to get a power bow. Actually, no. I think I removed the lapis from here. Yeah, I think I removed the lapis from here. So if he's gonna want some enchanting, he's gonna have to go back to over here and get the lapis. Where's my trophy? Getting taken out by a cave spider. Occasion up.
And a zombie behind him just put on all of his armor and his sword.
So, gonna be a little bit difficult for Dixin Cider to recover. Where'd he get taken out? Yeah, there it is. So, gonna be a little difficult for them to get that armor back. A little bit of trouble for in the PvE wolves for Dixin Cider. Both LG Matias and K-Schnapp getting taken out. Let's see if Filefish has made it to second wall. Looks like he is now decked out in full iron. LG Matias has made it back to his to his supplies. Diamond boots just laying on the ground. Gonna have a little bit of trouble with the pigmen and the cave spiders. They were not able to take out the cave spider spawner, so arguably more difficult corner in the map. I'd say from a map maker point of view, probably, at least from a just pure on mob point of view, probably the most difficult part. I think it's the only place in the map where I actually put pigmen. So
Wano has started making progress on first with stone tools and half a stack of torches.
Meanwhile, Cubby for Eternal Cross is inside of resources. He's in full iron, and he's able to apply some PvP pressure to third wall, able to take out Filefish. Able to take out Filefish, and Elgimatus able to clear out the remaining zombie pigmen, but by the time he's done with that, some more have spawned. So he's gonna have a little bit of trouble here. I don't know what they've done with the strength potion. Yeah, Algimanti is having a lot of trouble right here. The cave spider is spawning behind him, and being able to hold the pigmen at bay for a decent amount, but he is poisoned. It looks like he's just about to be at half heart. Yeah, he's at half heart right now. So a lucky shot from Cubby could be what what Eternal Cross needs, but it doesn't look like he's anywhere near, opting to just go for the supplies. So he should be able to Crybox his way for a little bit, regen some health, and take out the pigmen right here. Valfish able to make it back to his stuff.
Where's my trophy has also recovered his gear from the zombie.
Alright, nice. So even though LG Matias was able to take out the pigmen that were after him, more have spawned. So gonna be really difficult. Obviously lighting not affecting the pigmen spawners, and even if it did, it wouldn't be enough to light this up. So Valfish and LG Matias going for the dual run for this. Try and both take him out, do enough damage to clear them out, and break the spawner in time. And the derpy silverfish obviously making my day, not fixing those. And they're able to take out the pigman spawner, so really nice progress, pushing through 2-man run. Don't really have any other use for that final player, so I guess why not help run a wool. Sheriff Soko seems to be pretty happy, pretty content where he is, only in golden pants. Oh no, he's decked out in armor right now. But looks like he's gonna be stationed here for the rest of the game, not opting for the barrage of cannons, brigade of cannons that we've seen in the past, and that is due to me reducing the water in this chest from 2 to 1. So either get more water or use your one source block wisely. Let's see how Eternal Cross is faring so far. Justin is in full iron, diamond sword, so he could be looking to make an attempt on a wool. And looks like Cubby is making his way out. And LG Matias able to get yellow wool. Once he was able to get past that corner, able to finish this off really nicely, and that's 2 wools for Dixin Cider. All they really need to do is finish off first wool. And let's see how Occasionup is going to make his progress. A little bit of lag on his part, so taking a few unnecessary hits. But he's at a decent amount of health. Probably not the best sword he could have. Ooh. Ton of lag coming from Occasionup's part, just getting pestered by these skeletons. And I think he's gonna get taken out. Yeah. Skeletons aren't doing too much. Oh, the creeper's here. And clearing out all the mobs for him. What? He's at half a heart. What is going on? And Occasionup ends up lagging out eventually. Just in time, I'd say. I can't. What? Occasionup having a bit of connection troubles, or computer troubles. He's logged out of Mumble as well. And just 2 skeletons pestering him over and over, and a creeper walking up and taking out all the mobs for him and keeping him alive. Alrighty, so Occasionup able to connect again. He might need dragging again in Mumble. Yeah, he needs to be dragged again. Sprock, yeah. Sprocky needs to be dragged again, so yeah, there we go. Alright. I don't think Occasionup realizes how lucky he got. Alrighty, so he's back. He's going to be able to make his trek on the remainder of first wool. A bunch of mobs have piled up for the time being, so a few more pushes, he should be able to make it, taking out the mobs. Meanwhile, the rest of Dixin Cider, we have LG Matias, Crybox, might have been regenerating health, I don't know. But he does have the Diamond Hoe from the wool box, so if he wanted to, he could equip that for more speed. Looks like he's opting not to. And he looks like he's about to be placing yellow wool on the monument. Or not, since the wool is at the monument. Whatever. Meanwhile, on Eternal Cross's side, looks like we have someone inside second wool. 2 people inside second wool for Eternal Cross. Cubby with a power 2 bow from resources, just about done. But he does have enchanting and lapis, but no spare bow. So looks like he's not going to be getting a power bow anytime soon. Meanwhile, the dual
Nova
run
has also made it to the 2nd level of third wall. It has Crybox after his encounter with the cave spiders.
Alright, I guess the weird thing about this wool, you can technically make progress in the wool without any armor. It is partially a PvP wool, or a PvE wool, but with this lava you can easily make it across without having to encounter mobs. Obviously these corners are going to be a bit of a trouble. Looks like Nova was able to make it past without too much trouble. He does have a decent amount of armor on him. Looks like the gold chestplate and legs from secondary resources, a diamond helmet from secondary resources, and diamond pants that he smelted. Meanwhile, Sheriff Soko notices him. He has the infinity bow. Not sure if he's using the infinity bow or the power bow right now. But Nova PvP going for a jump shot with this wall that he's made.
He's trying to just remind me all the stuff.
Alright, well he's made it to the second layer, which is where the TNT supplies reside. So he's going to be getting some more blocks, opting for the TNT above anything else, and only the TNT. So he's running into a bit of mob problems. Cation up, Filefish, and LG Matias making a 3-man push for Filefish able to stop the creeper from blowing up, Cation up stuff, keeping the diamond armor alive for the time being. Most of the walls lit up, lighted. I don't know. So most of it's cleared out. They just have to deal with the spawners at the end, which shouldn't be activated from where they're standing. They will now. But 4 spawners left at the very end, but 2 underneath the pillars and 2 underneath the ladder. Obviously, gonna have to deal with the ladder being blown up. But Dixin Cider's in a really good place for this right now.
And it doesn't seem that Eternal Cross has made any further progress on second one first.
Or third, Nova Lake's PvP was taken out by the mess of Big Ben. Able to block off some of them, potentially. Jesus Christ, this is too loud. Alright. So it looks like Dixin Cider is able to clear this out, for the most part. Light it up, and break the fence of his... Oh my god! A baby spider a baby skeleton just spawned and picked up Cation Up's armor again. But LG Montia is able to grab the wool. Gonna be in for a surprise when he gets down. But not really caring too much and just opting to grab the wool and run out. So that's all 3 wools touched for Dixin Cider. Filefish coming back, potentially for his armor, as well as Cation Up, and opting not to deal with the baby zombie. Gonna have a, I guess, not too easy of a way out. It seems like there have been a small amount of mobs that have spawned due to it not taking out the spawners and not being completely lit up. Filefish getting taken out. Nova Link's PvP is back inside third wall, but he didn't light up the corner, as well as the silverfish didn't spawn in the light anyway. So having a little bit of trouble, as well as getting shot at by Sheriff Soko. No one else inside the walls for Eternal Cross. We have Wano, just at the surface inside the village, with the rest of his team. Cubby inside full iron though. Yep, okay. A little bit of server lag. And it looks like Dixin Cider has made it out of the wall, out of first wall, and is able to place all 3 walls that are already at the monument. There's 1 wall being placed correctly, 2 walls being placed correctly, And the third wall being placed correctly. It's a miracle. I don't know if you want Chris to get the match report from the server in the near future to send to me so that I can get the pretty one, or not, can stick with the paste HTML. Either one works for you, Sprock, but for the time being, the paste HTML is going to be in the chat. I'm just waiting for hopefully no spoilers. Alright, that should be good enough.
There were surprising lack of deaths in that match.
Yeah, definitely. There were a handful of deaths inside PvE, even with good armor, but
There was little to no PvP.
yeah, on Dixin Cider's side, we saw 6, 12, 15 deaths.
13 total PvP kills.
15 deaths from Dixin Cider's side, and 4, 7, 14, 20 deaths
Only
from...
4 were PvP deaths.
Yeah. And 20 coming from Eternal Cross's side, so probably not the best choice of map bans for Eternal Cross, banning the not deciding to ban the Twisted map. And arguably one of the harder maps in the pool, but seems to have worked for Dixin Cider's side. Not the smoothest match in the world, but definitely not the hour-and-a-half long mess of a match that was last night, the throwdown. So really good game on Dixin Cider's part. And so they are starting off the group stages strong with the 1-0 record. I don't remember what each team actually banned. Do you, Sprock? I know the maps were Candyland,
Dixin,
Procession, and Twisted Ruins.
Dixin banned Norway and Buzzard. And
So Eternal Cross
banned Elemental and Inferno.
Alright. So, I guess somewhat... I feel like the Eternal Cross could have definitely chosen better maps to ban. At least with the maps that were available, all of them were pretty PvE heavy, and Eternal Cross being from OCN, being a more, I'd say, being a more PvP centered map, PvP centered team, they definitely probably could have chosen a map that was a little more PvP heavy.
According to them, their plan was to play Candyland, but that decidedly did not work out in their favor.
Yeah, almost happened, almost worked out for them, but oh well. So are we going to do an interview with Dixin Cider that's actually in here, or?
Yeah, I can move some of them up.
Ever, but
Alright, so looks like we have the entirety of Dixin Cider. I'm guessing.
Oh.
Yep.
Yeah.
Okay.
yeah.
Hello.
Hello there. So
Don't let just if you're gonna interview us, just press kitchen up first, and then
What?
go.
Oh my fucking.
Yes, please.
he obliges.
All right, thank you.
So we have the entirety of Dixin Cider here. Filefish, K-Schnup, LG Matias, and Sheriff Soko.
Yeah. Hello.
Oh,
So a really good match on your part. Probably not the smoothest it could have gone, but I'm assuming you guys are fairly content with how that played out.
Yeah, it was fine. I mean, the basics of our strat was just get people to get resources and then run the wolves and then have one person lock down second, and that worked out after a long bit of stalling.
some hiccups.
Yeah, with your map bans, you guys decided to ban Buzzard and Norway. Any reasoning behind those that you want to
So,
explain?
well, we were kind of lacking in like strats, so we decided that instead of stratting for like 6 maps and maybe like banning one that we thought they were strong at, we would just strat for 5 and then ban 2 that we didn't feel like we wanted to get through. and those two ended up being Norway and Buzzard.
Alright, fair enough. So you were pretty confident in any of the maps that ended up being played today?
Yeah, like, at least enough confidence to like even if we had hiccups at the start, we'd be able to do what we needed, towards the end and win.
Any reactions on the maps that Eternal Cross ended up banning? I think
Really
they banned it.
They
you
banned
guys
exactly
just said
what
it.
we wanted to.
We just said it
didn't
and I
wanna play
forgot what it was. But
We didn't want to play their map they banned, which was what was the
Didn't want
other
to play
one?
Elemental.
didn't play
we didn't
Elemental or Inferno.
Inferno.
Yeah.
So it was great. It was great.
Because we had played, or at least I had played, Candyland and Twisted Runes in a previous tournament, so I felt like I had some experience there.
And Kishnup's muted, but with the Wither Skeleton head, what? Like, I kept in mind whenever I made the map, like, oh, it's possible for teams to get Wither Skeleton skulls if they really wanted to, and possible to get a Wither if they grinded to get enough heads. You guys got one, which I never expected. What?
I think it
And
came
you
off the
wore it.
first Wither skeleton he killed.
Oh, Jesus.
We kind of excited to get all three.
I mean,
You
there's
probably
one
had
in the
time.
wall.
The other team would have never finished the map.
There's one in the wall, so you just needed one more.
I probably would have spawned it if I got all three. I would have spawned it like right as we won. So then there was like a Wither blowing everything up, and then we'd place all three.
So a little bit of rough patches in the PvE. Were you expecting a little bit better luck with the PvE, a little bit better of a run?
LG can probably
Terrible.
answer that, at least for third. I mean, for like, for first resources, it was kind of irritating, but it was more that we were getting shot down at the start. I don't know a whole lot about what happened in the other roles, because I was kind of focusing on second, so I guess LG can kind of answer that question. LG?
Or not, I guess.
He's dead. Rest in
Okay,
pepperoni.
whatever. I did notice that you guys got the potion supplies from second resources, and I was kind of curious where you used the strength potion. I feel like it would have been best used either at the very end of first wool or at that corner inside of third wool, but it seemed like you guys still had a little bit of trouble there, so I'm not quite sure where you guys ended up using it.
Like, we ended up having 2 ender pearls when we got to first, so our plan was to just get to the last room, ender pearl to one side, take the wool, ender pearl back. But then when Kish took the ender pearl, to the side, he got caught in a fence and then was shot to death. So then we had to just rush it through.
So I'm curious where
there though.
I'm curious where the strength
Oh,
potion
I'm
ended up.
unmuted.
Yeah, LG, did you use the strength?
I
potion?
used the strength, and then there was some pigmen, and I killed them, and then I died.
Alright, so you did use
Or,
it
you
at
know
that
what, that was-
corner.
I used it at that corner. I went through that corner a couple times before I got it. But whoever was running first resources had like a power bow, so he killed me and then killed File, I think.
Yeah,
So,
he had the power 2 bow from the second
Power
resource
2,
chest.
yeah.
Or from the
First
resource
resource, yeah.
chest.
So I think I died once or twice in that. Well,
Sure, if it seemed like...
Unfortunately, didn't know a whole lot about the map. I feel like they found where second was and they rushed it, but even if they had finished it, they had already blown up the levers. They did have no idea what they were doing down there.
Yeah, I think that happened the last time we played this map, didn't it? We blew up the levers and the other
Yeah.
team didn't
We
know
blew
how
up
to
the-
do
We
the
blew up the
wall.
levers, and then they asked if it was a lever or a button, and then I said in all caps buttons, so they knew it was a lever.
Yeah, but they didn't know where to place it.
They were asking all game where the wall entrances were, and I just ended up telling them on the top of the lane.
Yeah,
Sure,
that's
but
what happens. Go ahead, sorry.
it seemed like you had a little bit of fun trying to keep yourself busy at the bottom of second resources, a little PvP pressure, a little cannon work.
Yeah.
Um,
The start was really rough. I didn't get the right resources. I had no torches, and I got the wood pick from the chest. But then as soon as I died with it, I didn't have any other pickaxe to go from. So I was kind of like rushing or pain looping to get my resources back. And then after that, I just had to make sure I stayed alive, because as long as I stayed alive, they'd take it slow. So even if it was at 3 hearts, if I stood behind a wall, they wouldn't do anything.
With previous
I missed the
version,
pearl too.
yeah,
I
both
missed
teams
the
missed
pearl for a second.
multiple pearls. But it didn't seem like it affected you too much. You obviously weren't
Yeah, no.
able to get the second resources as quickly, but once you got the bridge across, you went straight for it, and were able to get it fairly quickly. Not as much as you would have hitting the pearl, but still quick enough that it didn't really slow you guys down too much.
Mhm.
Oh, LG is a fool. Didn't you miss the pearl, didn't you?
Yep. That's what you just said. So yeah,
Yeah,
that's
I
to
know.
the other team.
Oh, the other team missed it? I wasn't yet. But look.
Something that I kept in mind whenever I was updating this map for this tournament, whenever it was played in the Penumbra tournament, it seemed like every single strat from teams that actually stratted was have someone inside of second resources the entire game. There were 2 water source blocks, so you could have infinite cannons. You had the iron for the buckets. You could literally just set up a brigade of cannons. I'm curious how reducing that to just 1 ice block affected any sort of strat that you had.
Say it one more time, sorry. I couldn't hear it exactly.
Previous,
Isn't there other ice blocks, like, later in the map?
1 ice block at first resources, and I used that for the diagonal cannon, but I don't know about any other kind of ice blocks.
in previous versions of the map, the version that was played in Penumbra, each cannon chest had 2 water source blocks. But in this version that I updated, it only has 1 water source block in each of the cannon chests. So I'm wondering if it had any effect on any strats that you were gonna have before seeing the updated
no,
version.
No, actually, in Penumbra, I used the same diagonal cannon I used today, and it only used 1 water source. And luckily, it worked in 1.8, so I used the same exact one. So it didn't affect me at all. I think I had some sort of redstone contraption the first time, maybe to get more charges, but I really thought it was easiest just to do a few fences and then some mounting blocks.
I don't think we used the second block when we played Penumbra.
Alright,
Yeah.
fair enough. So, next matches in the tournament. Looking at the bracket, your next match is going to be against Craftsgang. Any predictions, any expectations?
Well, I know these people personally. I know they're not experienced or race for role, but they're all OCM players and they know how to strategize, so they should probably do fine. And they've been on pretty often, so I think they're working hard on destroying us. So we'll see how we fare against them.
Alright, so that's about all I have. Do you have anything, Sprock?
The next match is going to be in 2 hours between USNZ and NICE, assuming that NICE show up. They did fill out a scheduling document, so I'm hopeful, but we shall see. If they're not here, then the actual match will be at 8 Eastern between 404 and Craftsgang, and that match for sure will be happening, so be sure to tune in for that.
Alright.
And that is your guys' group as well.
Yes.
So you guys have the fairly competitive group. There's you guys that are the favorite to top it all, and then the bottom 3 all fighting, depending on who decides to look at maps and who doesn't.
Mm-hmm.
So, that's about it. Alright, there we go. So, like Sprock said, next match hopefully going to happen in 2 hours, 6 p.m., and definitely a match happening in 4 hours at 8 p.m., both times Eastern time, and we'll see how those matches end up faring out. Not gonna lie, extremely surprised that the first match to be played is Twisted Ruins, which I was expecting all of the inexperienced teams to ban, but whatever, it happened, I guess. So anyway, stay tuned for later matches today. Might be streamed on my channel, maybe. If not, check places to see where they end up being streamed. I don't think there's an official streamer list. Yeah, I don't know if there's anyone technically scheduled to stream it, but if no one ends up doing it, it'll be here, so stay tuned. And maybe on Reddit it'll be posted. I don't know. We'll see. We'll see what happens when the time comes. So stay tuned for later matches today, and we will see y'all then.